what have I learned? And what would be my advice to anyone who's listening?
Mm.
Is to really be conscious of your emotion. It's really just being conscious of how you feel dissipates a lot of its power and strength, takes away a lot of its powers and strength. Before going into that room, if I had just taken a pause and I was conscious that I'm already feeling angry, I am taking in some baggage from a past conversation, from the last time my mother said no, for example. You know, just by addressing that emotional state, we do take away a lot of its power, and then instead of the emotion, we get into the position of power and we control the discussions, we control the emotions instead. In any negotiation or influencing situation, if you can take a 10 seconds pause, just pause and be silent, and guaranteeing you the other person would come up with one or other suggestion, solution, something he or she would like to say. So it's very important to take a strategic pause, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, or whatever. And again, it sounds simple, but hard to do, especially when your emotions are flying high, when you're not conscious of your personal emotions, your feelings, especially negative ones. It's hard to be strategic. And again, in my situation, did I stop and take a pause? Did I rethink? No, I stormed out of my parents' room because I was so, all pumped up. So that's my number two. Taking a strategic pause, being silent for 10 seconds, 15 seconds, whatever it takes. And lastly, and this is an interesting one, and I've really loved this book. I'm actually saying a lot of things from lots of books I've been reading, or podcasts, or articles. Actually, this one, I think, this is a book by Phil Jones. Exactly what to say. Uh, and if anyone's interested in this book, Phil is talking about lots of magic words, as he's calling it, and they make absolute sense to me. So what he's suggesting is that it's in these difficult conversations, especially, if you could suffix your questions with some softness, suffix your idea with some softness. So for example, rather than telling my parents, would you or would you not let me go? If I could say, um, what would, just out of curiosity, if you could just use that phrase, just out of curiosity, what is your concern? Rather than saying, oh, you're saying no, you always do that. If I could just say, before you make up your mind, please explain, please help me understand, what is your concern? So this book and Phil is suggesting lots of softeners like that, lots of prefixes, if you like. He's suggesting saying things like, help me understand why. Help me understand why, da 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 da. Or telling a customer, before you say no, before you make up your mind, before you say no, why don't I get some more data and information? And this whole, I know it sounds like so prescriptive and like magic wand thing, but it made absolute sense to me, because using these kind of phrases or softeners really changes the whole tonality of the conversation. Now your proposal or demand doesn't sound like an unreasonable demand.